Right now, sitting on dealer lots across the country, there are trucks with $15,000 knocked off the sticker price, not because the manufacturer is feeling generous around the holidays, but because nobody's biting. Not first-time buyers, not fleet managers who buy in bulk and don't care about feelings, not even the guy who just needs something to tow his boat twice a year and swore he'd never overthink a truck purchase. And when a truck won't sell with $15,000 stapled to the windshield like a hostage note, that's not a deal. That's a warning label with a bow on it. So here's the question we're actually answering today. Which of these 10 trucks would you drive off the lot for free, and which ones would still be too expensive at half price? Grab a coffee, because a few of these are going to make you defensive, and that's exactly the point. Number 10. Nissan Titan, 2016 to 2020. The Titan's whole pitch was half-ton toughness with a warranty nobody else offers. 5 years, 100,000 miles, bumper to bumper. The kind of warranty that makes you feel like Nissan actually believes in the product. On paper, this looks fine, until you check what's actually failing inside that window. The 5.6-liter Endurance V8 has a well-documented rocker arm and lifter tick that shows up as early as 40,000 miles, and Nissan's own dealer network has quietly extended goodwill repairs because the failure rate embarrassed them enough to act without a formal recall. Then there's the transmission, a 7-speed that hunts for gears like it's lost in a parking garage looking for the exit, downshifting at moments you didn't ask it to and holding gears at moments you did. Depreciation has been brutal. Some 2018-2019 Titans are down 45% from MSRP inside 4 years, which is the kind of number that makes even Nissan's own finance department wince behind closed doors. And yet, dealers are still pricing certified pre-owned Titans like the badge means something sacred. It doesn't. This is the truck equivalent of a warranty being used as a marketing department, not an engineering department. A permission slip to sell you a problem and call it peace of mind. And the punchline is that Nissan's own lease return data shows Titans coming back early at a higher rate than the segment average, which means even the people who finance these things aren't sticking around to find out how the story ends. Number 8. Jeep Gladiator, 2020 to 2022 early builds. The Gladiator should have been the coolest truck in America. A Wrangler with a bed, off-road street cred built in from the factory, doors that come off for reasons that are 90% Instagram and 10% practical. Instead, early builds turned into a rolling checklist of recalls. Over 30,000 units recalled for a rear axle shaft that could separate while driving, on a truck marketed specifically for off-roading. Read that sentence again, slowly, and let it sit. The 5.6-liter Pentastar V8 is actually fine, genuinely one of the more dependable parts of this truck, which tells you everything about how low the bar is set everywhere else on the vehicle. Owners report clutch pedal failures, uncommanded shutdowns at low speed, and Uconnect infotainment glitches that require full module replacement rather than a simple software update. Jeep loyalists will defend this truck with religious intensity, the kind usually reserved for sports teams and questionable diets. And sure, the doors come off and it looks incredible doing it. But looking incredible in a parking lot isn't the same as making it home from the trailhead. And this is where it gets interesting. Jeep's own recall filings are the ones telling on the truck, not some outside critic with an axe to grind. Take the doors off for the photo, sure. Just maybe don't take the highway on-ramp at speed while you're at it. Number 8. Ram 1500 EcoDiesel, 2014 to 2016. Diesel trucks are supposed to be the reliability flex of the segment. Big miles, low drama, the kind of engine you brag about at a gas station to a stranger who didn't ask. The EcoDiesel broke that pattern hard and broke it publicly. Emissions-related lawsuits and settlements followed this engine for years, tied to defeat device allegations that put Ram in the same conversation as the Volkswagen diesel scandal, just with dramatically less press coverage and a much quieter apology tour. Mechanically, owners report EGR cooler failures, turbo actuator issues, and DEF system faults that can strand a truck with a $2,000 to $4,000 repair bill before it even clears 100,000 miles. On paper, paper, 28 miles per gallon highway in a half-ton truck sounds like a miracle worth bragging about at that same gas station. In practice, that mileage came with an asterisk the size of a small courtroom. Ram eventually walked away from the EcoDiesel option entirely for a stretch, which is corporate speak for "we know." Number 7. Chevy Colorado GMC Canyon, 2016 to 2018 gas 2.5-liter four-cylinder. The mid-sized truck comeback was supposed to be led by these two, riding in on a wave of smaller truck, smarter buyer marketing. Instead, the base 2.5-liter four-cylinder became the punchline nobody asked for. It's underpowered for a truck this size, drinks more fuel than the window sticker politely suggests, and owners consistently report rough idle and stalling complaints tied to the engine's variable valve timing system acting up right around the time the warranty clock runs out. The available diesel option, the 2.8-liter Duramax, actually built a decent, quiet reputation, which makes the gas trims look even worse by direct comparison, like a sibling who makes honor roll while you're explaining a D- at the dinner table. Resale data shows Colorado and Canyon four-cylinder trims sitting on lots 15 to 20% longer than the diesel or V6 variants, gathering dust and dealer lot pollen. The numbers don't lie here. Buyers already figured out which engine to avoid, and the discount you're seeing now is simply the market finally catching up to what mechanics have quietly known for years. If the four-cylinder badge on the fender feels like a warning label, that's because at this point it basically is. Number 6. Ford Maverick Hybrid 2022 early production. This one hurts a little because the Maverick was supposed to be the feel-good story of the decade, a genuinely affordable, genuinely efficient small truck that made everyone else in the segment look bloated and overpriced. And it mostly delivered, right up until early production units started showing up with a body control module software glitch that could disable the backup camera at inconvenient moments. Plus a documented issue with the hybrid battery cooling fan that led to a handful of recalls over potential overheating. None of this is catastrophic engine failure territory. To be fair, this is more growing pains than reputation hanging by a thread, more awkward teenager than career criminal. But when your entire pitch is the smart, no-drama truck that just works, even a small drama becomes a disproportionately big problem. Ford issued the fixes quickly, credit where it's due, no dragging their feet, but early build Mavericks are now specifically the trim-savvy used truck shoppers avoid, cross-referencing build dates like they're checking a recall list before buying concert tickets. And that's a strange position for the truck that was supposed to be drama-free by design from day one. It's the one truck on this list you can actually forgive, but forgiving isn't the same as forgetting the build date on the door jamb. Number 2. Nissan Frontier, 2017 to 2019, pre-redesign. The old Frontier was charming the way a flip phone is charming. You respect the simplicity right up until you actually needed to do something modern, and then you remember why everyone moved on. This generation ran a chassis and a 4.0-liter V6 that were both holdovers from over a decade earlier. Basically fossils with a fresh coat of paint, and it showed everywhere. Dated safety ratings that didn't age well, a 5-speed automatic transmission that felt ancient the day it left the factory floor, and radiator and cooling system complaints that pop up right around the 80,000 to 100,000 mile mark, conveniently timed just after most factory warranties have quietly expired and Nissan has moved on to the next quarter. Nissan knew this truck was outdated. That's precisely why they eventually redesigned it from the ground up. But there are still thousands of these sitting on used lots, priced like the reputation held up over time, when the reputation is actually running on fumes from roughly 2015 and coasting on brand loyalty alone. Buying this Frontier today is a bit like buying a flip phone in 2026 because you heard the battery life used to be good. Number 4. Ram 1500 TRX. Yes, it's a 702 horsepower supercharged monster truck for the street. And yes, it is genuinely stupidly fun in a way spreadsheets simply cannot capture, no matter how many columns you add. But let's talk numbers, because the numbers here are almost comedic in the wrong direction. Fuel economy that dips into the mid-teens or lower depending on how heavy your right foot is, insurance premiums that make finance managers laugh out loud before composing themselves, and a supercharged 6.2-liter Hellcat-derived engine that requires premium fuel and specialized service most independent shops flatly refuse to touch. Depreciation on TRX models has been sharper than buyers expected for a so-called halo truck. Some are down over $20,000 from MSRP within 2 years because the same economy that made a 700 horsepower pickup seem like a completely reasonable idea in 2021 simply does not exist in the same form anymore. This isn't really a reliability problem so much as a math problem, and right now the math is not mathing, no matter how good it sounds at idle. It's the automotive equivalent of buying a jet ski for a lake you visit twice a summer. Glorious for 6 minutes, painful for the other 364 days. Number 3. Toyota Tacoma 2016 to 2020 automatic transmission trims. This one's going to upset people in the comments, and that's exactly why it belongs on this list. Toyota's reputation is doing most of the heavy lifting here, carrying flaws that would sink any other badge on this list. The 6-speed automatic in this generation has a well-known harsh shifting complaint, particularly between second and third gear, jerking hard enough that passengers notice and comment on it unprompted. And the frame rust issues that plagued earlier Tacomas didn't fully disappear with the redesign. They just moved geographically, showing up heavily in Rust Belt and coastal markets where road salt does what road salt does. On paper, this looks fine, until you check the actual complaint volume Toyota's had to address through frame inspection and buyback programs stretching back over a decade of quiet paperwork. The reason this Tacoma still commands strong resale isn't that it's flawless, it's that the brand built a strong reputation so strong it survives evidence to the contrary, and that's worth remembering before you pay a premium purely for the badge on the tailgate. Toyota fans in the comments are already typing, but mine has 300 miles. And sure, congratulations. That's one truck, not a rebuttal to the buyback paperwork. Number 2. Honda Ridgeline, 2017 to 2019. The Ridgeline is the truck for people who don't actually want a truck. Unibody construction, car-like ride quality, a trunk under the bed that's genuinely clever and honestly the best feature nobody talks about, but that unibody design is also exactly why serious towing and off-road buyers won't touch it with someone else's money, and resale reflects that ongoing identity crisis. Owners report a documented transmission shudder in the 9-speed automatic, most noticeable at low speeds like it's clearing its throat before every stop sign, along with infotainment system freezes that require full hard resets rather than a quick fix. On paper, this looks fine for the school-run, grocery-run buyer who just needs cup holders and a bed for mulch. The problem is that buyer usually just buys an SUV instead, and always has, which is exactly why Ridgeline sales have stayed a rounding error next to the F-150 and Silverado for its entire production run. It's not a bad vehicle by any stretch, it's a truck having a genuine identity crisis, and the market noticed a long time before we did. It's the honor roll student sitting alone at the truck club lunch table, wondering why nobody invited it to the towing conversation. Number 1. Chevy Silverado 1500, 2019 to 2021, 5.3-liter with dynamic fuel management, AFM. The Silverado had to make this list because the volume alone means the complaint numbers are impossible to wave away as a fluke. The 5.3-liter V8 cylinder deactivation system, dynamic fuel management on newer builds, active fuel management before that, has been tied to a persistent lifter tick and in a meaningful number of documented cases, full lifter collapse requiring a complete engine teardown that reads like a home renovation invoice. NHTSA complaint filings for this specific issue run into the thousands, and several class action suits have been filed over exactly this failure mode, not a vague cousin of it. And yet, Chevy is still charging full price for the very technology causing the problem, marketing it as a fuel economy win on the window sticker, while a chunk of owners are quietly budgeting for a $6,000 to $9,000 repair bill somewhere around 60,000 miles, right when they thought they were in the clear. This is the best-selling truck nameplate in America, which means this isn't a niche internet forum problem. It's a mainstream one, hiding in plain sight. Because it's a Silverado, it'll be fine, is a sentence people keep saying right up until the exact moment it isn't. Half of America is driving one of these right now, tapping the gas pedal, blissfully unaware they're gambling on a lifter. None of these are bad trucks in the simple, categorical sense of the word. They're trucks where the price already knows something you might not, where a $15,000 discount isn't a gift wrapped with a bow, it's the market quietly correcting a reputation that hasn't caught up to reality yet, whether the badge on the grille wants to admit it or not. Some of these are one repair away from being a genuinely great deal for the right buyer with the right mechanic. Some of these are one repair away from becoming a second full-time job you never applied for. So which of these is sitting in your driveway right now? And be honest with yourself and with us in the comments, did you already know about the problem before you watched this, or is this the first time you're hearing it? Either way, welcome to the club. Membership's free, the repair bills are not.